How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading while the price is going up or down. Sam Bankman-Fried is going to jail. So, he's been put in jail. His bail has been revoked because of witness tampering from releasing Caroline Allison's journal. So, if you don't know what was happening, that's pretty much the long and the short of it. SEC seeks to usurp Congress's authority in Coinbase lawsuit. So, a group of people of advocacy groups have joined forces and said that the SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase is an attempt to usurp Congress's authority and that the judges overseeing it should grant the company's motion to have the case dismissed. They're saying that the statutory text, history, precedent, and common sense all foreclosure the SEC's attempt to rewrite the definition of an investment contract in order to gain basically all control over the crypto digital asset world. Only Congress has the right to answer policy-related questions, and the amnesty agreed that the lawsuit is a classic major questions case in which the SEC is attempting to enact a transformative expansion of their authority by regulating nearly all sales of digital assets. So they're trying to just force their way to gain more control and just take the control away from Congress. Custodia Bank now accepting US dollar deposits, adding Bitcoin custody. So this is good. Crypto-friendly bank Custodia announced Friday that they're now accepting dollar deposits and will soon custody Bitcoin for customers in select US states. So this isn't like it's kind of similar to what an ETF wants to do for you, where a Bitcoin ETF would want you to give them your money and then they would hold your coins for you. I would say not your keys, not your coins, either way, but according to the company's Twitter account, Custodia is now available to business customers as of right now and is not ready to operate in all 50 states, positioning that they are opening slowly and carefully. So they're taking a slow and steady approach rather than trying to launch all at once and have everything break. SEC pumps brakes on the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF. So the US SEC delayed the Bitcoin ETF for ARK. This is no shocker. We pretty much said that would happen when we talked about it the first time when all the ETFs were released. In a Friday filing, Wall Street's top regulator said it needed more time before approving or scrapping the application, and there's not really much more they said. Over on the charts here, we are not on the daily. If you do want to see lower time frames on these other things that we don't do lower time frames on, leave me a comment down below. We can do them. We may have to push the video time, but we could do that for you guys. We could also cover more coins if you're interested, so leave a comment down below if there's anything you would like to see. RSI is overall dropping. Stochastic is starting to make a bearish cross and could drop from here. Our money flow is starting to taper out and starting to curl away, so we could take a dip here. Our VWAP is starting to lose strength and our momentum is starting to curl out. And we have a kind of rejection from that doji candle where I kind of warned you guys about. Bitcoin dominance is kind of flat. We're not really dipping and going back into this flag, but we do have that bearish engulfing candle that was a bearish pattern. With this green candle, we may invalidate it if we get another green candle tomorrow. Our stochastic is pushing down, RSI is trying to come up, our momentum is curling out with a red dot as our VWAP breaks bearish. It's not going harsh into the bearish territory, so if our VWAP curls back up from here, we could get some bullish upside strength. Our money flow is starting to get a bit of a curl here too, so that's another thing pointing that we could see some more of this retracement regain back. Over on Bitcoin futures, we do have a manipulation X though, so that's kind of counter. That's saying we want to drop away from this flag we had. I'm going to kind of pull this resistance. We'll pull the support while we're at it. Well, they're both resistance right now, but this would become support if we flipped it. Stochastic is falling, RSI is going kind of flat, VWAP is falling, money flow is in the bearish territory, trying to flip into the bullish territory despite the red candle. Our momentum wave is starting to curl away with our VWAP falling. If our VWAP crosses that neutral zone, our momentum's likely going to get that red dot and come lower. Over on the 4-hour, money flow is in the bearish territory. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to go up. Momentum looks like it could bounce as our VWAP's trying to break through that neutral. So that is a positive sign for us. We'll have to see if the lower time frames can sustain these patterns and if it can actually start to reverse. If the money flow starts to reverse from here and that VWAP breaks up, we could get that bullish action. Over on Bitcoin real quick, if you haven't already and you see some value in our daily content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, it helps out a lot with our engagement. Also, visit the links down below, join our Discord, we'd like to see some of you. I'd like to see some people get fully registered, because soon I am going to be finished doing some 3D modeling learning, and then I'm going to make some models, and the few people that accept that link down below, it's a limited offer, are going to get a surprise if you verify your full account and actually participate in the Discord. But there's more on that later to come. There will also be more giveaways in the Discord later to come once the server starts to grow with our affiliate. Stochastic is starting to fall, RSI is starting to fall, VWAP is starting to fall, money flow is in the bullish territory, kind of starting to take a dip. Our momentum is starting to round off, so we do have potential to set up some more bearish downside here. This is kind of acting as that flag, that's why we removed that other golden line if you didn't watch yesterday. So watch out if we lose this zone right here where this higher volume node is. If we lose this area, we will see further downside. Over on the 4 hour, we are overall falling on our RSI. Our momentum is heavy into the bearish territory. Our VWAP is trying to break through that neutral, so if our VWAP can break through and gain some strength, we could see some bullish momentum. Our money flow though is breaking in the bearish territory, so if this continues with the downside and that VWAP rejects, we're going to see a dip down to the support level and we could get sucked into our golden pocket, so keep an eye out for that. Our stochastic is going pretty flat, so it's not really strong. Wanted to come up but didn't really go very far. If this bullish cross can play out and give it some strength, we may be able to make a little bit of a bounce from here, but this is a slight descending triangle that could bring us down to this range. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic is trying to run up, RSI is losing strength, our VWAP is starting to roll over, our money flow is struggling to go over this 10 zone, so it is struggling to meet some support resistance area. If we fall from this zone, we could see further bearish action. Our momentum wave does want to come up, but keeps getting slapped back down, so that is kind of cautionary, especially with the VWAP starting to fall. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic starting to round off, our RSI is starting to round off, our VWAP starting to fall pretty harsh. Momentum is starting to break into the bearish territory. Our money flow is starting to break, so we are getting some curls out from most of our signals, so that's not looking too good. If that continues, this pattern is likely going to play out and we will see some downside. Over on graph for the daily, we are getting a bit of a bearish cross here that wants to bring us down. RSI is starting to taper off, VWAP is starting to reject away. Our money flow has fallen into the bearish territory, so we are setting up some bearish strength here, which isn't too good for us. This could be a breakdown out of that triangle, so just keep an eye out for that, as this would be our retest and then our rejection. RSI is starting to fall, VWAP starting to fall, we covered that, momentum's coming out as our VWAP is starting to fall, so just keep an eye on the next few days. Over on the 4 hour, we have a double manipulation X. Warn you all the time how those bring us down. You can see it brought us down. RSI is starting to fall, stochastic is very weak. Our money flow is in the bearish territory, so our trend is bearish. Our VWAP is trying to get a little bit of a push up. We are trying to set higher lows, so that is a promising trend that could show we could get some support here and we could get a bounce. Our momentum though is pushing away, so if we don't get that bounce on that VWAP, our momentum's likely going to get drugged down through the dirt down here. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is overall starting to weaken. Our stochastic is overall starting to push down. You can see we are somewhat starting to round out on price as well, so that's not very good. Our money flow is trying to break bullish, but it keeps getting rejected. So this is going to be a pretty pivotal area. If we don't find some support here and push off, then we're likely going to get rejected and gain some more bearish action. Our momentum is coming down. VWAP's in the bearish territory, starting to kind of round off. Our stochastics and pretty as overbought or oversold as it can be right now, so we're pretty weak looking on the 2 hour. Over on the 1 hour, don't know why it stretched out like that. There you go. You can see that round a little more here. We have a lot of manipulation X's. Stochastics starting to take another breakdown. Money flow is starting to trend down. Can't get the words out apparently. RSI is going kind of flat. Our momentum's starting to go flat. We have a red dot that invalidated the green dot as our VWAP struggling to gain bullish momentum, and looks like it is starting to round back into the bearish territory and could fall from here. Over on Anchor for the daily, we are starting to break away slightly from this pattern. Nothing too extreme though. We are losing the higher volume area right here. Our RSI is sliding. Money flow is rejecting away. Stochastics starting to bend. Our momentum's getting a red dot as our VWAP is starting to fall into the bearish territory, so we could be set to test this value area low here. Over on the 4 hour, we have manipulation X's that brought us down. Stochastic is trying to rebound. RSI is trying to rebound, so that's promising. Money flows deep in the bearish territory, tried to maintain a little bit of bullish strength, and it didn't last for very long. I think it was a couple candles. Same as back here. If that keeps happening, we could overall see a rejection away. We are kind of getting new lows as we take these dips, so we could get a breakdown if we're not careful. Momentum is trying to come up as our VWAP's trying to come back up, so if that VWAP can break through to the bullish side, that could help push us up, but keep an eye on this money flow. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is trying to head up but starting to round off. Stochastic is running up. Our money flow is slightly in the bullish territory, so we have slight bullish trend. Watch if it can maintain. We'll zoom a little bit better to see if we have any gaps, since Anchor loves its gaps. We filled that gap yesterday, and we did fill our other lower gaps today too, so we filled both gaps that we warned of, and we are starting to slide. Our momentum wants to come up as our VWAP is pushing up, so if our VWAP can maintain its strength, we could see a kind of bounce from this area as we filled our gaps and could continue some trajectory up. That would invalidate this pattern, so watch for a retest and a breakdown, or a possible just rejection of this area. Over on the 1 hour though, we do have another gap down and another gap up, so we could get another push up and then get slammed back down again. So we could just keep filling these gaps and just keep zigzagging our way down. So that is another possibility. Our stochastic's trying to run up. RSI is overall getting lower highs and taking a bit of a breather here. We could lose our strength as our stochastic's losing strength as well. VWAP is in the bullish territory, getting lower highs, so that's struggling as well. Our money flow is maintaining bearish trends and is maintaining a strong bearish trend. It's currently starting to taper off. If it comes back down and makes a new low, that would be pretty deep on the money flow, and that could send us hurtling down. Our momentum does want to come up as our VWAP's going bullish, but overall we look more bearish than bullish, and we do keep making these gaps and filling them to the upside than downside, and whipsawing up and down and overall losing strength. Over on XRP for the daily, we're testing our value area node here. Indecision candle, doji candle. RSI is pretty flat, stochastic looks like it wants to break. Our money flow is trending out. Again, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel, make a suggestion if you want to see another coin or something. Our momentum is starting to come out, VWAP is starting to come down. If our VWAP breaks bearish, we could set more bearish action here. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that brought us down. We are kind of zigzagging from this range, so we could set a bear flag here and see further downside if we're not careful. Our RSI is trying to go up. Our stochastic wants to make a bullish cross, but is trending down, so keep an eye on that. Our money flow does want to come up and test this neutral, but we keep getting rejected. So if we're not able to break through this neutral, we could come down, make a new low. At that point, we could continue a bearish trend down and test these lower zones. Momentum is coming down. We are making a higher low though, so that is helpful. But if that VWAP breaks away, then this momentum will do the same. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to go up. Money flow is running up, our VWAP's running up, and our momentum's trying to come up as well. So we do have some potential to make a bounce from here, so that is good for us. If this money flow can maintain, that 2 hour could save itself and gain some bullish strength. At which point, if we get the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour green confirmation, you know how that goes, and that helps bring us up. Stochastic's starting to run off. Our RSI is starting to lose its trajectory up, so keep an eye on that. VWAP is starting to break away. Our money flow is starting to lose its strength and not really too strong in the bullish territory right now. So if that flops over, that could weaken the 2 hour, and then we won't see that trend, that confirmation across all three. Our momentum is starting to kind of taper off as our VWAP is starting to lose strength. So I'd keep an eye on the next few candles. If we see more red candles, we could test those lower areas we talked about. Over on Algo for the daily, we are starting to get a reversal arrow. So watch out for that as we were coming up. If we get a reverse of that, we could see a drop and test this value area low. So keep an eye on that. Stochastic's starting to break. RSI is pretty flat. VWAP is coming down. Our momentum's starting to round off. And our money flow is starting to reject away from that neutral. So we could set up a bearish trend here. We are slightly under our point of control as well. So we have basically lost that node. Over on the 4 hour here, we have two manipulation X's that want to bring us down. So those could bring us even lower. We could test this area. And then we could see some further downside as we have that value area low. RSI is kind of struggling here, not really getting too high. We are overall starting to trend down on RSI even though we're ranging. Stochastic wants to make a bullish cross. Our VWAP wants to come up and break through that neutral, so our VWAP can go through the neutral strong. We could get a bullish trend, but lately it hasn't been able to go too strong. Momentum is coming under but wants around as our VWAP wants to make that retest. Over on the 2 hour, we have a reversal that wanted to shoot us up, didn't really take us anywhere, and a manipulation X brought us down. We are trying to regain some of that lost area, so we'll have to see if this can continue. But our money flow is in the bearish territory. If that maintains and starts to reject away, we could see further downside. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to run up, and our momentum's trying to come up as our VWAP is pushing over that neutral pretty decently. It does have strong bullish momentum currently. Just watch out if it starts to taper off like these ones back here, as I could set another trend down. Over on the 1 hour, nothing too exciting as far as any gaps. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to run up, our VWAP's starting to taper off, and our money flow is struggling to maintain above this bullish trend and flipping in the bearish trend right now. So if that does flip into the bearish territory, that could weaken our other time frames. Momentum does want to come up, but if this VWAP rolls over right here, we could lose that and we could push lower. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night. Again, like this video and subscribe if you haven't.